gonna say something I say at everything. Oh, right. I'm just gonna say something I say at every event. I've never written a speech before. I don't write speeches. I don't find them authentic. You know, I don't. I just I speak off the cuff. What I'm gonna say today is I'm gonna really piggyback off of what Amanda said. From a different perspective. I am a former Democrat. All my life I was a Democrat for years. Didn't know what that meant. Didn't really know what that meant. You know, I was just, I'm from the Bronx originally. You know, you're not gonna meet many little black kids from the Bronx who be like, I'm a Republican. No, it's not gonna happen. But when I got older, we moved down here. Actually, we moved to South Carolina originally. But when I came here to Virginia, I was going to college, and you know, I actually worked for Obama's campaign in OA. Didn't know what he stood for. I was just like, yeah, hey, Democrat, and you know, yeah, I'm helping, you know, fresh out of high school, going to college. I'm gonna do that. So after that election, went to college. Had a professor, Michael Mann. Never forget his name. Easy name to remember, but I'll never forget his name. And he said to me, you know, why are you a Democrat? I was talking to him about, you know, yeah, I just finished working on the campaign for Obama. He's like, why are you a Democrat? I was like, I don't know. I've always been a Democrat. You know? I said, do you know what they stand for? I'm like, yeah, you know, they help poor people. And he was like, really? And he explained to me what they really stood for. And I was like, I don't stand for any of that stuff at all. That doesn't make sense. That can't be. And he told me what the Republicans stood for. I was like, well, that sounds a lot more like me than what the other day. I'm a Republican. And from that day forward, my eyes were open to the fact that there is another party and they have good values. So over time, I started to actually look into things and study things and understand things a little bit better. And I remember Amanda came up and she said, you know, I don't understand why they're doing this. It doesn't help their base. It doesn't. I understand completely why they're doing it. I have no questions. It's the party playbook, and it's worked. If you notice, every Democrat-controlled area has high crime, high poverty rates, and they stay in power forever and ever and ever, and it's hard to get them out. That's their mission. Their mission is to stay in power at all costs. They don't care about their constituents. If they did, they wouldn't adopt these policies. You want to know why they let a convicted murderer out when they weren't supposed to? Because he's going to go kill people. Because that's going to make people scared, which is going to make them run to their officials. And they'll be like, well, if you keep us in power, we're going to do something about it. And that's what they do. It's all they do. And it's indoctrinated, which is why when I grew up, I was a Democrat. Didn't know what that meant, didn't need to. It was taught to me. This is why they put the mandate on teachers that they have to be social change. They're recruiters. They're turning our teachers into recruiters for the next Democratic generation. This is what they do. So we have to win to stop that. If you don't want the next generation of voters to be 99% Democrat, we have to stop what they're doing because it works. You look at New York, look at California. It didn't start that way. They're trying it here in Virginia, DC. Look at all the states around us. Look what they tried to do in Texas with Vader. In Texas. I'm running because I know what their party playbook is, because I used to be part of the party. And I'm running to stop it. I'm running to unseat Martha Mugler, and I'm running to help conservative values come back to the House of Delegates. I want us to work together. I want us all to work together. I plan on working with Jordan. I plan on working with every Republican delegate to get this fixed, to stop this, and undo what they've done. So I'm not going to be up here long. I just wanted to answer questions because everyone looked confused. Oh. I'm A.C. Cordoza, and I'm running for the 91st district. like I said, I really don't write speeches. I probably would have been first on the list with my name up there. But yeah, I was just impassioned because I saw that people didn't understand why they were doing it. I did. I do. I totally understand why they're doing it. And I'm running, Gwenda's running, Amanda, we need you. Absolutely. Absolutely cannot lose you in the House of Delegates. Absolutely not. Right? I'm running because someone has to stand against this socialism, these socialist values, and communism. That's what's being pushed on us. And then they're really following the book to the letter, step one, step two, step in order. And the biggest thing I want to say is, a lot of people don't know history. That's the problem. People aren't taught history. They're taught history, the history that people want them to learn, but not the whole picture. Do you know that most people I talk to don't know that Lincoln was a Republican? When I tell them that, they're like, he wasn't a Republican, he freed the slaves. I'm like, he's a Republican. Do you know all the freedoms we had that were Republicans? What? No, that's impossible. Had to be Democrats. Do you know that most Democrats voted against the Voting Rights Act? Did you know that? Yep. I don't believe that. Look it up on Google, it's on your phone. People don't know the history. That's why they vote for Democrats. They're taught that if you're a minority, you vote for Democrat. If you're not a racist, you vote for Democrats. If you're not a bigot, you vote for Democrats. But if you look at Democrats' history, it's full of racism, bigotry, and every bad thing that they try and put on us is what they did and voted for. But people just don't know history. So our biggest thing, if you want to help me, I can use your money, that'd be very helpful. But if you want to help me, tell people the history. Tell people the history. Make them pull up their phone and search on Google. Because that's the only thing that's going to change their mind when they see, wow, this really happened. To wake people up. That's what someone did to me. That's why I'm here today. Because someone woke me up out of my sleep. So if you want to do something to help my campaign, to help us turn Virginia back, please wake people up. I'm AC. I'm running for the 91st delegate seat. Thank you guys.